4 things you need to know on how to manage recoil for an accurate shot. Let's get into it. Hi everybody, Mike Bishop for Tactical POV. Today I'm going to talk about 4 things you need to know on how to manage recoil. First of all, we're going to start out with proper grip. Now, understand this: when I teach in my course, I teach proper grip, and it's a proper two-handed grip. So you might have seen me talk about it before in my other videos, but when I tell my students to say, look, we want 100% grip on this gun. In order to get 100% with a two-handed grip, there's a certain way you got to do it. If you guys are new to concealed carry or new to shooting or anything else like that, I'm going to explain it. So thumbs forward. So when I teach to say to get 100% grip. So what that means, you've got 25 in the back strap, 25 on the side grip. There's 75, but you need this last 25 right here. In order to get that, you have to slide the hand in and get that left hand to get a kinetic response on the inside of this gun. There's that last 25. Believe me, that last little bit makes a big difference. I see a lot of people who used to shoot, and I used to shoot like this myself years ago, until I learned basically how to get thumbs forward to get 100% grip. So I see a lot of guys that fold that thumb and then fold this thumb over the top. Now, understand you want to fold it over the top to move this thumb out of the way so you don't restrict the slide. I totally get that, but the problem is that you'll create a gap, and that gap is right in here. This hand cannot physically touch the inside of this grip when the thumbs are folded. The left hand is folded over, or vice versa. So that means, if you can see it, there is a gap. If I hold my hand up, there's a gap. I'm not really touching this gun here with this left hand. You need to touch it here with your support hand, because you want the kinetic response. You want to make sure that you feel this and give some friction on recoil. So when you manage that recoil, when it kicks back, you want to make sure that your left hand is gripped in tight. Like I said, the only way to get it, to slide that in like a puzzle. Thumbs forward, resting this thumb right here on the frame. Little notch cut out right here, because some firearms on the frame have a notch cut out for the thumb. As you see, the notch cut out here for the Glock. Slide it forward, boom, nice and locked. Get 100% grip. That's a proper two-handed grip. So that will help you manage recoil in the first phase. Second phase, let's talk about proper stance. Okay, proper stance. Now, in order to help manage recoil, as I said, to get proper stance, your stance doesn't need to be this wide, way out. Okay, I see a lot of guys where you step too far. It's too far out, because it also affects mobility if your stance is too far trying to manage this recoil. So proper stance should be, if you're shooting from an oscillation, okay, if you're shooting from an oscillation stance or a weaver, in general, basically it'll still help you the same way. So shooting from an oscillation, I'm showing you as far as proper stance to where my feet are just outside of my shoulders, just a shade outside of my shoulders, with a slight bend at the knees, a slight bend forward at the waist. So that way, when you drive out, you're actually balance yourself on the arch, the balls of your feet, which will go to the next step here in a sec. But this should be your proper stance, not this far out. As I said, this stance is too far, and this affects mobility. Plus, you're off balance, way off balance. This here creates better balance, better manage, slight bend, not this. I see so many people, and I have to correct my students all the time when I see this, first time shooters, ones with very little experience, and even a lot of them that have a lot of experience, you know, been shooting for years. I still catch them doing this stance here, resting on yourself. That is not good. You cannot manage recoil because you're resting on yourself. You're not balanced on the arch and the balls of your feet. You're on your heels, knees are bent, and you're completely off center and off balance. Improper stance. Slight bend at the back, at the lower back. Slight lean forward. Slight bend at the knees. not a crotch bend, not too far, just a slight bend to manage, and bring that weight on the arch, balls of your feet slightly forward, and that right there will help you manage recoil. Some of you know, I know other guys who shoot, and sometimes when I'll shoot too, I know when I'm doing a lot of point shooting and I'm doing movement, I try not to step too far out, stay balanced, and stay a little bit upright. The other thing too, when I've also talked to different people who talked about stances and trying to correct stances, you hear this quote unquote, you know, a smaller target is harder to hit. So guys will, when they get down in that stance and they drive down and they get real low, that's a bunch of BS. It's absolute BS. You are totally off balance. You totally have no mobility as much as you think you do when you're crouched that low in order to make yourself small. It's a myth, okay? You're not changing, you're not doing anything, but you're just hurting yourself. So keeping yourself properly in that stance with that slight bend, keeping yourself up, you can see, driving the chin down inside the triangle, driving it down deep, right over top, keeping yourself upright to move to where you are in balance. Everything is stable to where you can manage recoil. This is not getting it done. If you notice, if you crouch too low and you try to move, you still got to step up and come back down. This is making this shot completely, it's completely hindering your accuracy. You're not managing anything. Basically, you're fatiguing your legs and fatiguing your body, making yourself tired. So, being comfortable. Next, let's talk about balance and stability. All right, balance and stability. What I just brushed over here a second ago, and I wish I had somebody here to demonstrate this a little bit better. I could show you if I had another person here with me, but bear with me on this. On the balance part, as I said, keeping your weight balanced on the arch and the balls of your feet with that slight bend, mainly because you want that recoil to travel through your arms, get that response through the torso, everything, and vibrate and bring that recoil all the way down into the balls and the arch and balls of your feet down to the ground. If you're on your heels, just like, and if you played sports, you should know, never play on your heels. Football, basketball, baseball, same deal. You never want to be on your heels doing anything because you have no mobility, no time to respond, no balance. It's the same thing with stability also. As I said, if you've been too far over, trying to crouch too low, you have absolutely no stability at all. I can walk up and take 2 fingers and push you and completely push you off balance if you are that low. It's just basic physics. If you're more erect with a slight bend and try to push, you're harder to move. If you're down too low, your center of gravity is less, it's now off balance. So guys, if you like the video, appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you try these techniques, and then the best way you can do, if you think that you're doing it or you don't know, you're not sure, record yourself. Just be honest, get out, set your phone up, you know, stand out there and record yourself and see exactly what you're doing. And then do over your moves, everything what you do every single day. So try it, practice it, and then leave a comment in the boxes down below and let me know if it works out, if it helps. Like I said, you know, the best way to do it, record yourself and see what you're doing, because it's hard to see it. If you think you're doing it one way and you never actually have, you know, video on it and see, you don't know. So do that for me, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, man, and I got some more coming up for you, and I appreciate everything. So this is Mike Bishop with Tactical POV saying, being armed is a mindset, not just physical condition.